Hello everyone, welcome back to this FAM course, Introductions to Farm Machinery and Implement. In this lecture, we are going to discuss some of the sowing and seeding methods. What we discussed in the previous methods are common sowing methods where we use a seed drill, seed cum fertilizer drill, seed planter and all. So in this, we will be talking about other sowing and seeding methods. So zero till drill or no till drill is a special kind of equipment for machinery. It is used for sowing wheat crop over the freshly harvested paddy field. So what is the difference between this one and what we discussed in the previous lecture, seed drill or seed cum fertilizer drill? There is a difference. In seed drill and seed cum fertilizer drill, what we discussed in one of the previous lecture, they all require a prepared seed bed. So plowing must be done and field must be leveled. So it must be cleared from all kind of weeds, clods and other small obstructions. So then only those seed drill, seed planter will be used. Whereas in this case, as its name itself suggests or reflect, so drilling will be done over the zero tilled field, in the sense that we are not going to prepare any seed bed. So no plowing, no secondary tillage, no primary tillage, no harrowing, nothing. We straight away go to the field and we will sow the crop. So which crop we are going to sow? Here it is the wheat. And which land we are going to sow? On the land where the paddy is freshly harvested. So the paddy is harvested and field is cleared of crop, not from its crop residues and all. In that field itself, we will sow the wheat. So for such, the seed drill, the equipment used will be zero till drill. It is also called as no till drill because we are not going to plow the land. So for that it uses a different type of furrow openers. So furrow openers, what we discussed are shovel type, show type, or maybe a disc type, as per as seed drill furrow openers are concerned. But here the zero till drill uses a inverted T type furrow openers. As you can see this equipment part, so it looks something like an inverted T. So for that reason, it is that furrow openers are called as inverted T type furrow opener. So zero till drill is always equipped with inverted type, inverted T type furrow opener. So that is very much essential because we are not going to open a wide furrow. We are going to open a split kind of furrow. Into that the seed will be sown. So for that reason, maybe these inverted T type furrow openers are used. So some of the silent features associated with the zero till drill equipment or machine is that it requires minimum 30 to 35 HP power source tractor to operate it. It will come with 9 furrow openers. There will be 9 furrow openers. In the sense, in one pass, it can able to sow the seed in 9 furrows. And it is equipped with a fluted roller type feed metering mechanism. What we discussed under the metering mechanism, different types of metering mechanism, where there we discussed about fluted roller type feed metering mechanism. That is the one here also used in the zero till drill. So it is fitted with vertical rotor over adjustable opening for fertilizer metering. In order to meter the fertilizer, it uses a vertical rotor type metering mechanism. And it has a T type furrow openers of narrow width which penetrate into the soil and up to desired depth, and it will place the seed in the moist zone without opening the furrow in wider manner. It will open the slit like furrow. So it also have ground wheel or drive wheel, from there drive required for metering mechanism will be obtained, and it can able to cover 0.35 to 0.5 hectares of land in 1 hour. It can able to sow 0.35 to 0.5 hectares in 1 hour. And by using this, we can able to sow the seed 15 to 20 days compared to conventional method. So conventional method, what happens? We will harvest the paddy, then we will allow that paddy field to come. Allow that field to bring its moisture content for suitable for tillage, and that's where that's how some period wasted there. Then we will plow it and we will harrow it. We will operate a rotavator also. Like that, it will take some 10 to 15 days or up to 20 days of time to prepare the land. So that's what we are going to save with the help of this zero till drill. Some of the advantages are no extra cost is required for plowing and all, and that's how we will save on seed preparation. Considerable savings on cost of water application also, because paddy is harvested, and into that paddy harvested field we will sow the wheat, and that's how the residual moisture which is present in the soil will be, seed will utilize that for its germination. And around 15 to 25% of increased yield is also reported by the scientist, and that's how it adds into the advantages. So other than that, there is another type of sowing method where we call it as a strip till drill. So strip till drill is a type of machine which combines tillage as well as sowing operations. So it will, for tillage operations, it equipped with the rotary unit, small rotary units, where it will plow the strip of lands, and below that, behind that rotary units, there will be a narrow furrow openers where they may open the furrow, and into that the sowing operations, where it is equipped with the seed box and metering mechanism, furrow, seed carrying tubes. So they will deposit the seed into such a strip where the furrow is opened, and that's how the plant will be established there, crop will be established. The machine consists of a 9-tine seed cum fertilizer drill. Here also, just like a zero till drill, here also it comes with 9-tine, 5-tine, depending upon the type of power sources and the size of the seed drill, the number of rows will vary. And this is how the strip till drill will look like. So the crop is harvested in the previously harvested crop without plowing. The strip till drill is being used. In strip till drill, the only narrow strips are plowed with the help of rotary unit, and just behind the rotary unit there will be a furrow opener provided. It will open the furrow, and into that opened furrow, the seed will be dropped, and that's how strip till drill will be followed. Okay, so this is also tractor attached equipment, and it can able to cover 0.3 to 0.4 hectares of sowing in 1 hour, and that's how it saves a considerable amount of time as well as energy, because it combines tillage. It provides the minimum manipulation of soil for the seed growth, and that's how the plowing will be done. Sowing will be done with the help of strip till drill. So another method of sowing is this method of sowing, that is the drum seeding. So the drum seeding is generally concerned with the paddy crop, where we are going to see the pre-germinated seed over the prepared field, seed bed. So here the prepared seed bed is a puddled field. So it is a lowland cultivation. Lowland cultivation is nothing but paddy cultivation, where the mud, kind of soil seed bed will be there. So in this, as you can see in the picture, in this on the screen, there will be a several drums which are placed on a common shaft, and each drum will have a number, rows of holes on their periphery, and into these drums the pre-germinated seeds will be placed, and the number of holes made on the rows of hole made on the drum will have a definite spacing between one such row to the other row on the other drum, and that's how we can able to maintain the row to row spacing while we sowing those pre-germinated seed on the puddled field. And it also comes with the lugged wheel. As you can see, there are 2 wheels on both sides. In both cases, they have a lugs or pegs on their surface. So these projections are called as lugs or pegs. So they are essential to provide a more traction, and as it is dragged over the puddled field, they will rotate, and that rotary motions will provide a required motion for this drum to rotate. And inside the drum there will be agitators also that agitate the seeds which are there at the seed box, and that's how that seed will be always kept in singling manner, and that single seeds will keep dropping out of the box over the prepared seed bed. As you can see, there are lines of seeds being sown. So these are all the the line slightly we can observe on the screen. So all the lines of dropped seed, pre-germinated seed out of the seed box. And it also comes with the float. So here there are 2 floats. So these floats helps this equipment from sinking in the mud. So what happens if floats are not there, due to weight of that equipment and muddy condition of the surface, the equipment tend to settle and sink in the that surface. So prevent such occurrence, it comes with float also. The float will help the implement from sinking. So it will not allow implement to sink in the surface. So pre-germinated seeds are kept for 3 to 4 drums, depends upon the length of the equipment. The number of drums will also vary, and each drum will have openings for loading the seeds into it, and they have a rows of holes made on the drum. Through those holes the seed will drop. Okay, so by doing so we can able to sow the pre-germinated seed on the prepared seed bed, and that's how it help us not to depends upon raising the nursery, then removing the seedlings out of the nursery and planting them over the prepared seed bed, and that's all leads to laborious and time consuming operations. To prevent that, this method may be used to ease the work of sowing of paddy. So if this equipment is not used, but we want to plant the seedlings which are raised on nursery, then we will go for transplanter. So transplanter or transplanting is a method of sowing or planting where the seedlings are raised in some other place like in nursery, and seedlings raised in the nurseries will be taken and they will be planted on the prepared seed bed. So such operation, such a method of sowing is called as transplanting. Equipment used for that operations are called as transplanter. So the transplanters are quite common for rice as well as vegetable seedlings, even for flowers as well. In case of rice transplanter, they may be manually operated, they may be self-propelled, or they may, under the self-propelled, they may be riding type, they may be walking type. Some of the silent features of manually operated rice transplanters are like their planting mechanism consists of fixed opening with the finger bar, fixed opening type finger bar. So this bar is actuated by hand operated lever. So there will be a lever that operator will rotate it. As he rotate the hand operated lever, it will actuate the finger bar. So where that finger bar picks the 1 to 2 seedlings from the tray and place them in the puddled field, and that's how the sowing will happen in case of a manually operated rice transplanter. So it requires a mat type rice seedling. So seedlings must be prepared on mat, not on conventional soil. Okay, so mat type nurseries are very much essential. So seedlings are very much essential if you want to operate a transplanter. So it can able to maintain row to row 200 mm, that is 20 centimeters of row to row spacing, and the depth of planting will be around 2 to 3 centimeter in the puddled field. So this is how the manually operated transplanter will look like. So as you can see at the bottom, there is a wooden plank surface which is called as a float. Wooden base of this equipment help that planter from sinking in the ground, and it also has tray holder where the mat nursery prepared will be placed there. And there is a handle, as you can see in this picture, the person is operating that handle, he will keep rotating it, and the rotary motions will be provided into this finger bar, where that finger bar will pick up the seedlings and place them in the land like this. So like this, the manually operated rice transplanter may be used for transplanting the rice seedlings. So they have about 0.02 hectares of planting capacity in an hour, with field efficiency about 55%. With the help of this, we can save 65% of the labor cost, and we will also save about 45% time and also 45% of the cost compared to the manual transplanting. So other than the manual transplanter, the self-propelled transplants are there, which are quite common, particularly in countries like Japan, Korea, China, where rice production is high and they have more lowland area, and they have completely mechanized their paddy cultivation, and for that, for sowing purpose or planting purpose, they rely on self-propelled transplanter. So self-propelled transplanter, as already named, they may be riding type, they may be walking type. In case of walking type, the operator will walk behind the implement, as you can see in this picture. Whereas in case of riding type, the operator will sit over the machine and they keep riding the equipment, and the equipment as it moves forward, it will get the motion drive required for planting, and it keep planting the seedlings on the prepared seedbed. So in case of a walking type of self-propelled transplanter, they may come up with 3 HP engine, whereas in riding type, the power source will go up to 10 or 12 HP power source. So transplanting mechanism consists of fixed fork and knockout lever. So fixed fork and knockout levers are used for as a planting fingers. So there will be a float which provided in order to keep the equipment out of sinking. And again, here also mat type seedlings are essential for planting through mechanized transplanting through the self-propelled machines. So either one person is required to operate the machine, and another one or two will be engaged to place the mat over the planter as the mats are about to complete. So it has control to regulate spacing between the hills. We have a control to maintain a plant-to-plant spacing as well in this case, and number of seedlings which are placed in each hill will be around 6 to 8. So there will be 3 plant to 8 plant. It may vary in each hill. So both transplanting is up to 60 mm. So up to 3 centimeter in the ground, they can able to plant the seed. And row to row spacing, they maintain up to 20 centimeter, and plant to plant, they can able to maintain spacing between 10 centimeter to 12.5 centimeter. So there are positive displacement of seeding in the soil, the missing hill or minimum. So here there is a term called missing hill. The missing hill is nothing but any hills which are missed planting the seedlings. Sometime what happens, the poke will pick the seedlings out of the tray, but it will unable to release them as they approach the soil. So in such cases what happens, either seedlings will float over the surface of the soil, or it will comes back along with this finger, planting finger. So in such cases the hills are missed, the seedlings are not placed on the hill. So such a kind of mishaps are called as missing hills. So missing hills are very less in self-propelled type of a transplanter in compared to a manually operated transplanter. So these are all some of the readings, references you may go through for other different types of transplanter, because I am not covered here about vegetable transplanter. Similar to the paddy transplanter, there are some equipments, machines particularly designed for vegetables and flower seedlings, and they will have a number, they require seedlings to be grown in trays, and they will pick up the individual seedlings out of the tray, and they will place on the prepared seedbed, either on the ridge or on the furrows. Like that, there are various other type of sowing and planting equipments are also there. Sugarcane planter is there, where sugarcane cutter planter is there. Like that, tomato planter is there, where it plants the seedlings of tomato. Chili planter is there. Like that, there are various equipments are there. They all require nursery to be raised somewhere else. Either maybe as far as paddy transplanter is concerned, the seedlings must be raised on mat. Whereas vegetables are concerned, they will be seedlings are raised in a tray, and there will be suitable trays in which the seedlings are raised. And as we keep the trays over the transplanting equipment, the planting mechanism will pick up the seedlings out of the tray and place them over the soil. So here the soil requirement, field required may be ridge type, or it may be furrow type. So depending upon, so metering mechanism also differs from transplanter to transplanter, and furrow opener is also differs from transplanter to transplanter. So in case of rice transplanter, there will be no component called furrow openers, whereas in vegetable transplanter, whereas in flower seedlings transplanter, whereas in sugarcane transplanter, in each cases there will be furrow opener, but there it may be a ridge type furrow opener, it may be a bed forming type furrow opener, it may be a low furrow transplanting type of furrow opener. So like that, there will be a different type of planting equipments are there. Okay, thank you all.